Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built by Jeff, and this week I'm going to get this door finished. Okay, so last week when we finished up, I repaired this corner and a lot of these areas around the bottom edge of this door. I'm sort of working my way around this end of the door now. So I'm going to make up some patch repair panels for this corner and these sort of spots along here. So that's my next job. All right, I got this piece cut out for this corner and it's going to prove to make an interesting challenge because it's got compound curves in it, because it curves this way and then also this ridge along here. I could do it in two pieces, which may actually be easier, but I'm stubborn and I want to try and be able to actually sort of make this shape. So I've got my lines marked, so it's time to start bending and shaping and see what I can come up with. That worked really well. Just using the round of the ball peen hammer to stretch out the center, I just sort of bashed into the middle of this piece and it sort of stretched it and gave it that round curve in the middle that I wanted, and basically left the top and bottom just flat as they were. So stretching the middle got me that compound curve I was after, and that piece looks pretty good. So now cut them out and load them in. I realise now with this patch, I can cut the horizontal lines quite easily, but to cut these verticals, the issue I have is that the angle grinder doesn't fit in there. So the wheel doesn't fit in, and it's quite difficult. So what I'm sort of doing is I'm mangling them out so I can come back and sort of cut it this way. It's not the best, but I can't get in there any other way. So once I weld it up and grind it back, it'll be okay, but it's a bit messy at this stage. So I have my patches ready to go. This one sits quite nicely. This one here, I don't know if you can see down this lower edge down here, there's actually I cut an extra sliver of a piece there to go in there because the gap's a bit big. That gap's a bit big there as well. I'll see how I go. I might need to cut another piece to help fill in that gap because I got a little bit trigger happy on the angle grinder. This piece here is also ready to go. And the one around the corner, that one there which sits in there. So time to start welding. All right, one last spot just here on the back of the door, and then the inside of the door is finally done. And with that, the inside of the door is done, so now it's time to finally do the outside, and hopefully I can button this whole thing up. This is now looking much better. There's a few pinholes here I need to address, and there's obviously this hole here which I'm going to have to patch. But along this edge, it's all looking pretty decent. This top edge is very good. So just a few pinholes and that's looking very good. So next job is to patch in this corner and fill in those pinholes. One thing I forgot to mention last week is I swapped over from using the hard grinding discs and started taking the welds back with the 40 grit flat discs, and it's actually doing a better job. It doesn't seem to heat the panel up anywhere near as much. It's still taking the welds down nicely, which I'm surprised about actually, because the welds are so hard with the MIG weld. It seems to be working much better, and it leaves a much neater finish when it's finished than the grinding wheel does. So very happy with the flat disc. So all right, well now I've got one more little repair on the top of the door and then panel beating time. All right, I finally have 2 rust-free doors. So much work in getting these doors right, and then I think about the Alfa Romeo that I have coming after this, and this car is basically rust-free compared to the Alfa. So that's going to be a lot of repair work. Now I have a rust-free door. Hopefully you can see in the camera there's a massive creased divot all the way through here. I need to get under there and knock that crease out and that divot out, and then just also go over the rest of the door and just make sure everything is straight and true. I've got quite a bit of this crease out. It's still a long way off, but I've actually got an area in the middle here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's popping in and out. So I'm going to do my old heat shrinking trick on this and yeah, see if we can get this door skin straight. All right, and a bunch of banging and bashing later, and I have a straight door. Granted, it's not gun barrel straight like the rest of the stuff, but I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but it's not too bad. It definitely doesn't have a big crease in it. It should just need a light skimmer bog and it will be nice and neat and tidy. So now it's time to test fit it on the car, and then we will actually have completed rust-free doors. All right, we have the second door on. We have both doors finished, finally, rust-free. I'm going to leave the final adjustment for when everything else is done, and then I can do it all at once. But for now, I think it must mean it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hi guys, the 240Z was in production from 1969 to 1973, and around 160,000 cars were produced in that time. In 1974, the 260Z replaced the 240. Despite having a larger 2.6 litre engine, the US cars actually dropped 12 horsepower to 139 due to the US's more stringent emission restrictions, and other regions only gained 3 horsepower. With the 260Z came the first 2+2 option, with a slightly longer wheelbase and 2 small rear seats. In 1975, the US got the 280Z, while the 260Z continued elsewhere in the world. To try and combat the USA's stringent emissions and safety standards, the 280Z featured a 2.8 litre engine with new Bosch fuel injection and 170 horsepower. At just over 1,300 kilos, this engine was to compensate for its 200 kilo weight gain over the 260 and its 260 kilo weight gain over the original.
Okay guys, that's it for another week. I finally have rust-free doors. I know it's slow and tedious work just going over doing the same thing, cut out a patch, weld it on, grind it out, but has to be done. at least the doors are done. If you want to help the channel out, please go down to the description below and visit our store, and you can get some shirts or hoodies. And please like and subscribe to Home Built by Jeff, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at the same place. See you guys.
Oh God, I've hit a wall. There's nothing left in the tank. There's no possessive apostrophe there.
Shut up.
Kilo doesn't belong to anything. It's plural. Oh, I can't. I don't want it. No. Don't. That's interesting.